morning. Goeiemorgen. Dumelang. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. I would like to greet our leader, the owner of this land, Khosi Nyala Palani. Khosi, you are most welcome. Also Honorable Dr. Leon Schreiber, Minister of Home Affairs, Deputy Minister of Small Business Development, Deputy Minister Setole, our own Deputy Minister of Tourism, Maggie Satu, and of course, Mr. Jerry Mabena, the Chairperson of Tourism Business Council, and board members, as well as the affiliates, including FEDASA, SAKI, and SATSA. Also greetings to Frank Jordan, the TOMSA chairman and his board members, the South African Tourism Board members, members of the media, brothers and sisters, colleagues and friends. It is really a privilege to stand here before you today at the Tourism Business Council Leadership Conference. We gather not just as individuals representing different institutions or companies or government departments. We are gathering here as a community, bound together by the shared mission to grow tourism, to create jobs, and to show the world the very best of our country. Tourism is about people. It is about livelihoods. It is about opportunity. And above all, it is about what we can achieve when we work together. But let me begin with a story that fills me with pride. Exactly 1 week ago, 48 students from 21 universities across South Africa came together for the inaugural Tourism Hackathon Challenge. They were young, they were determined, they were fearless in their thinking, and the winning team, called the Catalyst, developed a concept called the Hologram Hub, a platform, Khosi, whereby it allows rural communities to share their stories, to showcase their culture, and to attract visitors. Imagine arriving in a remote village, being welcomed by a hologram that tells you about the heritage, about the crafts, about the cuisine and its people. That innovation is rooted in culture. The students walked away with a combined prize money of R500,000 of cash prizes, and the overall winner received R175,000. We've also set aside 1.2 million to further incubate and develop these ideas, to commercialize the ideas. But these young people also competed for something bigger, the chance to shape the future of tourism. I watched them present their ideas confidently with passion to the G20 Tourism Ministers Summit in Skakuza. Now think about that for a moment. Young South Africans standing before the world's most powerful tourism leaders, offering solutions that are proudly African and proudly innovative. And I said to all the students participating then, and this is what I want to repeat here today. When you innovate for the benefit of South Africans, you are a winner. Colleagues, these young innovators represent the future of our sector, digital inclusion, and transformation. And they remind us why we must always place collaboration at the heart of what we do. The hackathon is but one spark of a much larger fire. And that fire is the Tourism Growth Partnership Plan, our collective blueprint for the sector's future. And the plan is built on 5 strategic pillars that are the backbone of how we can deliver growth. 1, it's based on job creation, skills development, ensuring that tourism provides real opportunities, especially for our young people and women. Secondly, the ease of access, removing barriers like red tape and visas so that visitors can come to South Africa without any hurdles. The third pillar is coordinating destination marketing, presenting one compelling, strong case for our country and to the world. Of course, the fourth one, we deal with the safety and security. We must make sure that every tourist feels safe when they arrive in our country. And lastly, infrastructure and product development, investing in the experiences of heritage sites and products that will sustain growth. We have also identified cross-cutting issues that are essential for sustaining our gains, like data generation analytics, economic empowerment, community inclusion, and investment funding. Each of these pillars are driven by a dedicated group of industry and government leaders, and they are supported by the Program Management Office, established with the help of the Tourism Business Council. Together, we are turning this plan into action, with the first execution lab already underway to ensure that we drive delivery. The plan is ambitious. 1 million direct jobs and 1.5 million direct jobs by 2029. 15 million arrivals by 2029. And we want to see a significant increase in visitors spent, both domestic and international. One of the most urgent reforms in the plan is ease of access. For too long, visa policies have held our industry back. And that is why the electronic travel authorization is such a big game changer for the sector. And this is being developed in partnership with the Department of Home Affairs, State Security, and the Presidency. And like Minister Schreiber will tell us later, that the ETA will allow tourists to apply digitally, get approval faster, and travel with confidence. We have done research, and that it shows that the ETA, the Electronic Travel Authorization, will add at least 1 million international arrivals every year and could generate between 80,000 and 100,000 jobs. So it is not just about technology. It is also about opportunity, about dignity and livelihoods. It's about saying to the world, South Africa is open for business. And that's why I want to take this opportunity to thank Minister Schreiber, who have worked very, very hard to make this ETA a reality. And this is an illustration of true collaboration between government departments. And it's a shining example of how, when we work together, we can remove barriers and unlock growth. And that is what collaboration is all about. When we hosted the G20 Tourism Minister meeting in Skakuza last week, and it was a resounding success, together we adopted a unanimous declaration to strengthen tourism that is sustainable, that is resilient, and that's inclusive. But colleagues, let me pause here. A declaration is not just words on paper. It is a recognition by the world's leading economies that tourism policy is economic policy. Tourism must be taken seriously as a driver of jobs, investment, and growth. And I want to extend my deep gratitude to the Tourism Business Council for supporting the G20 ministerial meeting through Sakia. Without your partnership, we would have not had the same impact. Together, we position South Africa as a thought leader in the global tourism world. And we are not stopping just at policy. We are also unlocking investment in the sector. In the inaugural Tourism Infrastructure Investment Conference last week in Cape Town, we also launched the UN Tourism Doing Business Investing in South African guidelines, together with 8 infrastructure projects from the public and the private sector, with about 1 billion, which represent concrete opportunities for investment in our country. Another policy change, as from the 1st of June, 2025, the amended National Treasury regulations for public-private partnerships came into effect. And this shift in policy allows us for models for infrastructure, build, operate, and transfer, build, own, operate, and transfer, crowding in concessions. And we even calling on investors to produce or to propose their own innovative funding mechanism. And we will not stop here. These 8 projects bankable projects, I might add, we will continue to take it and seek that investment, starting in the United Arab Emirates now in October. Then we go on to Saudi Arabia. Then we go on to Turkey. And every international investment platform, we will be taking these bankable projects. But this is not the end. Because we are going to repeat this investment summit in September of 2026, we continue to grow the pipeline. We continue to ask the public and the private sector to submit projects that we can screen and make sure that they are bankable. That's why the theme for Tourism Business Council says it the best. And the theme is Matters of Tourism, Growth, People, and Policy. Because tourism is not about individuals. It is not about personalities. It is not about noise. Tourism is about millions of South Africans whose livelihoods depend on it. And the millions more who can benefit from our collective success. That is why we must rise above the distractions and stay focused on implementation, on delivery of growth, delivery of jobs, and delivery of opportunity. This week, I also announced the successful bidders to host the 2 South Africa's premium trade shows, Meetings Africa and Africa Travel Indaba. For the next 5 years, the city of Johannesburg will host Meetings Africa. The 20th edition of Meetings Africa will take place from the 23rd to the 25th of February 2026 at the Sandton Convention Center. While the Africa's Travel Indaba will take place from the 11th to the 14th of May 2026 at the Nkosi Albert Lutuli International Convention Center in Durban. And so the Indaba will remain in Durban for the next 5 years. So now that we have the dates and the venues, I want to ensure that South African Tourism and the Tourism Business Council plan these events together. TBCSA and SAT must work together from the planning stages, because we have to review these concepts all the time so that we can improve them. And I trust that the ongoing support and the collaboration, we will build on the success of these two events. And let us also not forget that it's Heritage Month. Our heritage is one of our strongest tourism assets. It is what makes South Africa so unique. So on the 27th of September, on World Tourism Day, we will gather at Constitutional Hill in Johannesburg to celebrate our heritage, not just as history, but as a living, breathing source of pride and economic potential. Tourism already contributes a lot to our GDP and sustains over 1 million jobs. Every rand and dollar spent in this sector is an opportunity that we create. But we can and we must do more. And let us be honest, let us be honest with ourselves. There is still so much that we need to do. If we want to achieve these ambitious targets that we set for ourselves. And growth cannot just be concentrated in the major cities or our flagship destinations. We must spread the benefit of tourism geographically. We must spread it to our small towns, to our small dorpies, to our villages, and to our townships. And this is not a task that government can achieve alone. Nor can the industry achieve it alone. It requires every one of us in the public sector, in the private sector, in our communities, working together. Only together can we unlock the full potential of South African tourism. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the hackathon innovators I spoke about, the electronic travel authorization reforms, the 5 pillars of the Tourism Growth Partnership Plan, the bankable infrastructure projects, the G20 declaration, these are all proof that tourism is not just a promise. Tourism is delivering, tourism is growing, and tourism is uniting us. And our job now is simple but profound. To collaborate, to stay on course, and to ensure that the Tourism Growth Partnership Plan moves from targets on a page to jobs in people's homes, to opportunities, to our communities, and of course, the pride in our nation. So let us commit here and now that when the world speaks about tourism in South Africa, they will speak about opportunity, they will speak about delivery, they will speak about collaboration, and also they will speak about our shared success. I want to thank the Tourism Business Council for the support, and I want to thank all of you for the hard work that you are putting in on a daily basis. From the person at the reception in an hotel, to the people that clean the places, to the managers, the whole value chain of tourism. I want to say thank you to all of you. But I also want to thank you in advance for what you are still going to do. The season has just started. September is Tourism Month. And we have seen the growth of tourism in the month of July, Jose. In the month of July, we welcome 880,000 tourists to our country, a 26% growth compared to last year. What does that tell us? It tells us that the potential is there if we work together, and if we plan together, and if we respect each other, that we all have got different roles to play, but everyone in this sector matters. So I want to thank all of you for coming out here. It's an annual event that we all look forward to as a community, as a sector coming together. And from my side, God bless you. Thank you.